this is Mike, Castrator 42 Vinyl. First of all, I did my power pop videos 1, 2, and 3. Those did pretty well. I appreciate all the comments and everybody, contributing, putting me on the new bands I haven't heard of. Continue to do that. Like, power pop is one of my favorite genres. I really like that genre of music, and I like discovering new bands from that. So if you haven't watched those videos and you want to know what I'm talking about as far as power pop is concerned, like what that is, or what I think it is anyway, yeah, go ahead and check that out. And like I said, those videos have been doing pretty well. I've gotten over 200 subscribers now. That's kind of cool. I'm just a little small guy doing this stuff. I'm just doing it really for fun. I kind of am just doing it for myself, really. It is cool that everybody, that other people interact and watch the video. I really appreciate that. But, I really am doing this just for fun. I'm not going to make money off this. I put music in my videos, so there's no way that I'll ever make a penny off anything that I put on YouTube. So I'm going to change up what I've been doing for my collection. I've been showing my collection, everything I've bought since December 2016 till today. I've finished 2018 and I was going to go into 2019, but I've decided that, at least for this video, I don't know, maybe I'll jump around, but I think for this video, I want to do a more recent pickups, like what I've been buying up to this point this year. So I'm going to do January 2024, what I picked up in January 2024. And this is going to be metal. This is all heavy metal. So let's just get started. I'm going to start with the latest releases. So this is an album that actually came out in 2024, and it is from a band that I really, really like. I saw this band live once and I thought they were great. I've been a fan since the very first album, and that's Lucifer. This is the Lucifer 5. So this is their 5th album. I got it in this, I think they call it Oxblood. Yeah, Oxblood vinyl. So yeah, it comes in this like red color. Really cool. Really will remind you of 70s hard rock and, a little bit doomy. But this is more like hard rock oriented doom than, just slow, even Sabbathy. It touches on Sabbath, but I think it's even more just 70s hard rock straight up. And it's really, really great stuff. Female vocals from, I'll put her name. When I do these videos, I blank on all these names and even things that I want to say. I'm really just riffing right now. So anyway, this is a great album from them. I think this is one of their top albums that they've come out with. There's some really, really, really great songs on here. This was on a lot of people's 2023 best of list, and I played a couple songs. I didn't even know about this band. I was like completely kind of oblivious to them. So when I saw it jumping up on a lot of people's 2023 best of list, and some people put it way up there, like in their top 3, I was like really like, wow, this must be really good. And then I heard the comparisons to Ghost, and I think that that's pretty much true. But I also hear, this is kind of stoner doomy, but it's very melodic, and it's just really great. Again, almost hard rock. It's definitely metal, but it's kind of metal like Ghost is metal, almost, I don't want to say pop metal because it's really not, but it has great choruses, very melodic stuff on here. So it's just done really, really well. And that's Green Lung. And this is the Heathen Land. And I showed this at the end of when I was doing a video with Rockley. I showed this at the end of that video as a pick. We do a pick 3 sometimes where, we show 3 albums that we've been listening to. And this is one I showed on there. There's a little map in here on the inside sleeve that is kind of like a map of the heathen lands, and it has all these funny locations and stuff like that. So it's a really cool album. Like I said, sounds a lot like Ghost. It has a stoner doom vibe to it. Really, really good stuff. I completely understand how this got on people's 2023 top 10 lists. And I can say pretty confidently that this probably would have kicked off at least, well, it would have kicked off one album for sure on my top 10, because I think this is a really good release, and it's a really fun listen. Very, very, very melodic stuff. Very cool stuff. That first song, the what is it called? The Forest Church. Man, that song will get stuck in your head. It's just that the chorus, you'll just be singing it almost immediately after hearing it for the first time. You'll be like, whoa, that was fucking great. So really, really great album. A lot of fun to listen to. They don't take themselves too seriously. They're just having a good time here with the heathen lands and their kind of storytelling, pagan stuff. It's really good stuff. I enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it a lot. Oh, and I got it on the green vinyl. Got this off Amazon, I think. The Lucifer, I bought at my local store. This was from a purchase that I got through Revolver Records. They sell a lot of stuff, and sometimes they have like a 3 for $60 sale, which is like $20 an album, which is kind of cool. Their prices are usually expensive, so they're a little bit more than everybody else, because they usually do limited runs in different and specific color for specifically for Revolver. So when they do those 3 for 20 or 3 for 60 deals, I try to find albums when it's come up. I think I've done it twice. And I've gotten some good stuff. I mean, I haven't gotten like the best stuff ever, but for $20, and then it's like $8 or $10 for shipping, so it's about $22 an album. It's not bad, especially for what albums are going for now. And I picked up Dying Fetus, Make Them Beg for Death. This is a pretty good death metal album. I haven't listened to it much yet, so I don't have a really solid opinion on it, but I did listen to it once, and I did enjoy what I heard. Lots of good riffing here. I really just can't give you an in-depth on this one, but as soon as I listen to it more, maybe I'll post it on Instagram or something like that. But really, the Dying Fetus has had their last couple albums have been really critically acclaimed. And I know that this album actually made it on some people's top 10, death metal list. So it was a highly regarded album. I think most people enjoyed it. And from what I heard, I liked it as well. And I got it on the red. And yeah, you can see it's a Revolver special edition. Actually, I don't know if you can see that or not, but that's what it is. Oh, this is another one of them. This is Creeping Death. This is their second album. This also came out in 2023, and this is a colored vinyl. It's like this brown, what does they call it? Opaque apple and black. Well, this is a good album too. I only listened to it like once or twice. Really great riffing. Death metal to me, There's so many death metal bands right now. I mean, there was probably like 500 or more death metal albums that came out in 2023. There had to have been. So much death metal right now and so much variety of death metal that my favorite type of death metal that I like has the memorable riffs, the melodic riffing, where it pulls you right out of listening to the song and you're just like, whoa, what was that riff? That was fucking cool. That's the kind of stuff that I like. It doesn't need to be just brutal fast all the time, brutal slow, brutal fast and slow. Really just come up with those unique riffs in each song, come up with something cool. Have your basic riffing, for the verses and stuff like that. But in between the verses, before the solos, even during the solos, or don't even do solos, just do fucking badass riffing. That's where my ears love death metal is for that riffing. So these guys do a pretty good job. I have to listen to it more to, really absorb it, but I like what I hear so far. These guys, now this is what I'm talking about. This is a band called Veilburner, actually. Veilburner. And this album is called what is it called? It's called Veilburner. It's like they spell it all fucked up. I don't know. This is a really good album. This has the discordant death metal where, it has kind of like that screeching guitar a little bit, but it just, like those, I don't know what you call those notes, those when they ping the on the guitar. I don't know. I can't. I'll put on the bottom what type of riff I think that might be, what that sound is. But they call a lot of people describe this stuff as discordant, which I think it kind of is. It's just really good stuff. And again, this is an album that I was waiting to come out for a long time on vinyl. Transcending Obscurity was having problems with getting stuff pressed quickly and then shipped out. They got really far behind. This album almost came out a year. It did actually. This album was released on digital December 2022, and I didn't get the vinyl until January 2024. So it was a long wait, but it was worth it. This album is really good. I do enjoy it. It has that riffing that I like. It's very noisy album. It's just kind of a wall of sound, but it breaks it up with those guitar pings that they're around there. I don't know what that's called. I'm not a fucking musician, but it sounds fucking cool, guys. I fucking love it. And this is the kind of death metal that I like. It's got to be kind of memorable. It sounds cacophonous at first, but then the more you listen to it, you really find those passages that are just like so memorable, and they're just like, dude, I remember that riff. That was a really cool part. That's what I like about death metal. I'm looking for that kind of death metal. I don't want it to just be blast beats all the way through. I don't need to, hear it brutal like that the whole time. I want to have textures in there. So, and I think these guys do it. Maybe they're not the best at it, but they from what I listened to, I liked it. Here's another band I had ordered from Transcending Obscurity that took a year to get here. This came out October 2022. This is Profundis. And this is, what is it called? The Corruption of Virtue. This is just a typical death metal album, 90s, style, Entombed. If you like that, I think you'll like this. Nothing crazy going on here. Again, pretty good riffing in here. Maybe this is a little bit more typical death metal. I did enjoy listening to this, and I only, like I said, I only listened to this one a couple times too. A lot of these albums that I got in January, that are brand new, I just, I buy too many albums, guys, so I don't listen to them all like 10 or 15 times each unless, it really grabs me. So, but I did play this a couple times, and these albums are going to be around, I'm going to have them for the next 20, 30 years at least. So I have plenty of time to listen to my music. And I definitely enjoyed what I heard on this. Another one. Oh, this is another one. This is another one from the Revolver. This is a band called Castrator. This is an all-female death metal band. I like female groups, okay? I really like females in music. I really enjoy that. I don't know what it is. I really like it all. I like bands. I like when there's an all-female group. I like all that stuff. So that's kind of what attracted to me this. I haven't listened to this album more than once, but I do want to listen to it more. And it's really good death metal. I just don't have it in my head yet. So definitely picked it out from the Revolver list. I was looking for a third band because those two other ones I knew I wanted. I knew I wanted Creeping Death, and I knew I wanted the Dying Fetus. So I was looking kind of like for a third one, and this was kind of the one that intrigued me the most out of everything they had listed for when that sale was. I liked what I heard. I need to hear more, but I'm just kind of being honest. I really bought this because it's an all-female band, and that's definitely something that attracts me to this band. I want to definitely hear, because it's just there's not a lot of female artists, especially in this brutal death metal field. I mean, you got Crypta, you got these guys, there's a few other bands. Covenant is another band, Covenant with a K. Those are the ones that just pop off the top of my head that are just all female groups, playing brutal death metal. And I'm just being honest with you, I give those bands more of a chance than I do some of the all dude bands. But I do like all dude bands too. It's just they gotta impress me a little bit more, I think. And I don't know why. I really don't know why. It just is what it is. It's how my brain works, guys.
God for him to kill the blessings in his days.
All right, so here's another album. This album actually I bought a lot earlier, but when I added it to Discogs, I realized I'm putting these stickers on the bottom of my albums to, you know, like with the album date, which album it was, how long it is, and what genre I think it goes into. So I bought this album a long time ago, but I did not catalog it correctly. I cataloged the wrong album. So when I verified that I had a different version than I had on Discogs, I updated it. So that's why it's in this January 2024. But this is Witherfall. This falls under power metal kind of, but it's kind of thrashy power metal. It's more like, it really reminds me of Nevermore kind of. It's good stuff. I haven't listened to this album enough to really give a solid opinion on it, but I do like it. What I heard, I just need to listen to it more, but it does fit into that kind of like American power metal type. It's just a little more thrashy. It just reminds me a bit of Nevermore mostly. Good stuff though. I like what I heard.
Time and suffering, the only constants in my existence. I am the void. Slaves, a masochistic, they bow their heads and pretend they wear a crown. They sit down their throne to the dead. Shadows are all that I see. Is there anyone left alive? Come and give me sanctuary. Shadows are beckoning me. Follow us to the end of time, far away from tragedy.
All right. This band I'm familiar with. This is Wytch Hazel. This is the second album, Sojourn. These guys are great. These guys have great choruses, just traditional heavy metal. This album came out July 2018. Really, really good stuff here. If you buy any Wytch Hazel album, you're not going to be disappointed. They're just a really good, solid, traditional heavy metal, kind of like new wave of British heavy metal style of music, but they're doing it in 2020, well, in this case, 2018, but in the 2000s, they're doing it. So bringing that sound back, that old school sound, really, really good stuff. I can't say that Wytch Hazel's bad at all. They're a really good album, really good band. I think I have all but their first album. And their latest album is really, really good as well. I would definitely pick that up if you see it. I recommend these guys for sure. This is Sojourn 2, really good album, second album from Wytch Hazel. They are a Christian band, so I guess know that going in, that their lyrics are oriented towards the Christian metal side of things, or the Christian side of things, if that's something that bothers you. Doesn't bother me. I can listen to Striper, I can listen to all that stuff, and I could care less what they're singing about, because I can listen to Slayer, I can listen to, you know, all kinds of stuff like that, you know, where they sing about the devil all the time. It doesn't bother me at all, either way. So, but anyway, this is just so you know that this is a Christian metal band. Great music, great choruses, very melodic stuff. They're doing a great job.
Another day, my soul in disarray. Another battle in the mind. A helping hand to help me understand. A guiding light I will find. Come see my demons, come see them all. All in my mind I see them rise, I see them fall. Come see my demons, I've got them all. I see the signs, I see the writing on the wall.
All right, this is an old band. This is a band that was around in the 80s. They're an American power metal band, US power metal, USPM. And I just think they keep putting out solid records. Every time I play one of these albums, I'm like, this one is good. Vicious Rumours keeps putting out good albums. I don't know why this appeals to me so much, but I can imagine people thinking that this is just typical. But to my ears, man, Vicious Rumours can't do any wrong. I think I've liked everything, all of their modern stuff even. This came out in 2016. It's a good album. This guy's singing is kind of, he doesn't have the high, at least not, he reminds me a bit of John Oliver in a way, where he's just kind of like that mid-range guy, but really good songs. Like, every song is catchy to me. I'm like, this is good stuff. It came with the CD. Probably never play that, but I might, I should probably do a comparison to see which sounds, how they sound different. But anyway, other than that, this is a great album. This is a fun album to listen to. It may not be a great album, but it's a fun album. I've enjoyed pretty much all Vicious Rumours stuff. I don't know that there's an album that I don't like from Vicious Rumours. It's not an album that I would turn off and be bored with. This type of power metal, this type of metal is just really fun to listen to. Keep going back in time here to 2012. This is the Faceless. This was Newberry was having a sale. Newberry Comics was having a sale. I bought a few albums from them. I think it was another like 3 for $20 or 3 for $60, something like that. And I found some good stuff in there. And they had this album, which is like a recent repress of this album. Now, the Faceless, the best album, I'll put the little picture of the best album. I can't remember the name of it because, again, I'm making a video, so I don't remember. Everything goes on in my fucking brain. But that album, the blue one, the blue and purple one, that album is freaking awesome. That is one of the best tech death albums ever made, in my opinion. It's top 5 shit. That is riffy. That, what I was talking about, riffs, that album has it all. I've listened to this a couple times, only by streaming, and I haven't actually pulled this out and listened to this yet on my vinyl. I just buy too many fucking records, guys. I buy too much shit. So I need to play this, but I remember liking it, and it's just that I don't know if it's gonna hold up to that album. The album about aliens, whatever the fuck that was. I can't remember. There's a picture of it on the screen. That's their best album, but that album is way out of print, and copies are going anywhere from $150 to $200 online. So fuck that. Waiting for the repress. Hopefully that comes out and we get a repress of that, because that is a top tier tech death album, or just death metal album in general. I think I remember liking this a bit when I streamed it, but I haven't streamed it in a long time and I haven't listened to it in a while. But it was on the Newberry list for inexpensive, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna try it out. And it has really cool color, like kind of this gray white with a little bit of red in there. They call it bone silver with red and white, which is kind of cool. I like it. This album I also got from Newberry Comics, the orange vinyl. This is Anthrax Worship Music. This is fucking great. I remember when I listened to I streamed this for the first time when it came out, or around the time when it came out back in 2011. And, you know, I knew that Belladonna was coming back in the band. And I was like, this sounds okay. But I just think I wasn't in the right headspace, because ever since For All Kings came out, For All Kings to me is top tier Anthrax. It's like, that's probably in my top 3 favorite Anthrax albums of all time, For All Kings. I love their new style. They're very melodic. They're still heavy as fuck, you know, still thrashy, but it's just those songs, man, they are just so good. And I think Worship Music, I listened to it again, and I've spun this one a couple times because it caught me. I was like, this is really good. I'm really enjoying this album. Belladonna sounds great in the studio. I've watched some live clips. He sounds good still live, but he definitely doesn't have it as well as he used to live. In the studio, he's fantastic. I was just talking to the guy at the store today about Anthrax and how Belladonna, he says Belladonna doesn't fit in the band. You know, he's kind of like this Journey, you know, this like AOR type rock singer, you know, where his voice is different. And I can't disagree with that. You know, Belladonna is definitely not that much of a metal guy. You know, he even admitted it himself, and you know, he became a metal fan after joining Anthrax, really. You know, he was kind of in these other hard rock type bands before he was in Anthrax. But when he sang for them for the first time, you can watch that Anthrax documentary that they did on YouTube during the pandemic. He talks about that. He's like, when he sang for them for the first time, they were like, what the fuck, man, this is crazy. But they thought that, you know, that's what's going to make them unique. You know, that's what's going to make them stand out as a band in the sea of other, you know, heavy metal or thrash bands that are, you know, that were around back then in the early 80s. So, and it kind of did. You know, Neil Turpin was a good singer. He wasn't bad, but for whatever reason, they couldn't use him, and they didn't want him in the band or whatever the voting thing happened, you know, and Belladonna was in. And I just think that the Belladonna years are really good. Not to knock John Bush, really. Sound of White Noise is a good album too, but I think the rest of Bush's albums with them were just not, it wasn't Bush's fault. You know, I just think they weren't writing top tier heavy metal or thrash metal until this album and until For All Kings. I really think Worship Music and For All Kings are excellent albums. And yeah, I would recommend this album. It's really good. All right, Opeth. This is my least favorite Opeth album. This is Damnation. This is kind of like their acoustic album. It's not very heavy at all. There's not even a lot of distortion on here. It's just a lot of melodic, not really melodic, but a lot of slower acoustic type songs. It's not bad. It's just not what I want Opeth to be. I like the two different styles of Opeth, you know, like the death doom metal version or progressive death doom metal version of Opeth, and the 70s prog, you know, rock, you know, heavy metal version of Opeth, you know, those two versions. I like both versions. This is the version of Opeth that I don't like, honestly. I have all the Opeth, almost all, either I have them all or almost all of them on vinyl. So I want the other, what is it? Damnation, the other album, that the companion album to this is the one that I really want. That is, to me, is a really great album, and that's kind of Opeth I like. So I just kind of bought this off of Amazon for like, I think I got it for like $30 or something, and really just to complete my collection. Maybe it will start to grow on me. I don't know. We'll see.
Blank face in the window pane, made clear in seconds of light. disappears and returns again. Counting hours, searching the night.
All right, 2 more to go. Talk about thrash metal. This is Toxik World Circus. This is an original press from 1987 on Roadrunner. I think I got this album for like $40 on Whatnot and with some shipping, so maybe like $40-45. It was a pretty good deal. This album, original press, goes for around that. This is not my favorite Toxik album. I definitely prefer Think This over this album. I do think this album is good. It's just... it doesn't grab me as much as Think This. Think This is in my top 30 favorite albums of all time, at least. It might be higher than that. I don't know. I really like that album a lot. Like, they're kind of 2 totally different albums, really. Think This is definitely progressive thrash, I guess. It's recorded better. This album's definitely not recorded very well. But being 87, trying to record thrash metal in 87 was a no-win situation at that time. Nobody really knew how to get it down on tape and make it sound really good. So it sounds of its era. Not a bad album, just not my favorite. And that's just my opinion, right? Obviously, if you love this album, I think Rockley loves this album, so you might be like, what are you talking about? This album's fucking great. Totally fine. I totally can't disagree with you. I think it's good. I just don't think it holds up to Think This.
Ladies and gents, we're welcoming you to the show. The game that you play with the time comes to let you know. The game is the world, the circus is all your tricks. Democracy, what's it, contact is all in effect. Oh, but God can save us all. That's what's going on and not for the ball. Of the world, circus.
All right, last one. This is another album that I bought a while ago, but I had the wrong one added in Discogs, and my OCD, makes me want to correct all those mistakes, and that's Witch Cross. This is a repress on High Roller on blue. I think I had like the black version or some other version added. I didn't have the blue one added properly, so I finally corrected that. This comes with like a poster and stuff, so this is a really good, this is a new wave of British heavy metal album. This is 1984. Really good stuff. Really melodic. It borders on, like, there's a couple songs on here that could be like have been played on classic rock radio, honestly. Pretty close. I mean, they're heavy, but they're like Judas Priest heavy, with the really good choruses. Yeah, a couple songs on here are really, really good, really melodic, really fun. And I do enjoy this record. I recommend it. It's a good record. Witch Cross from 1984. This is the repress on High Roller.
No, rolling your ears, go straight ahead.
And that is all the heavy metal that I bought in January 2024. Some of those I did buy like years ago, but like I said, I swapped them out, moved them around in Discogs in January, so they ended up in the January month of how Discogs sort. You know, it only sorts by how the date that you add something. So, all right, hope this was fun. Hope you enjoyed my picks, and hope you enjoyed the songs that I played. Thank you, and like, subscribe, comment. Love it. Bye.